Welcome to Fuzzybutts and Friends. Well, as much as it drives Fuzzybutts all over this place, absolutely crazy. Whenever I say it, I am the host of this show, your big dog, Luke Robinson, and we do not have our co-host. Well, actually, we do have our co-host, but she's right in the background. We've got something exciting and special for you this week. It's something that we've never done before, but we did a puppy up walk here in Memphis recently. And we learned about this wonderful, wonderful company and servers here in the Memphis area. And we'll find out if this is if you can find this elsewhere in the country. But we've got Peyton Pugh and her lovely fuzzy butt, Penny, here with us today on Fuzzybutts and Friends. Peyton, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, go. Welcome to Fuzzybutts and Friends. This is a unique episode. If you can tell, we're actually where we're at right now. We're on location. We're right in front of her van, her mobile. What do you call it? A mobile
Dog Gym.
Mobile dog gym. I dig it. We're right in front of there. We're in Memphis, Tennessee. That's where we're shooting. So we're outside. We might have some random people walk by and try to photobomb. That's all right. We're right outside in Memphis, Tennessee here. That's what we're shooting today. So this is something new and it's exciting and it's fun. And I look forward to learning all about this mobile gym concept. So we start off the show with Fuzzybutts. So tell us about Penny. She's gorgeous.
Penny is 6 years old. She is a golden.
Yeah, let's lift her up here. So yeah, I sort of want to see her.
She's the runt of the litter, so she's tiny. She's about 45 pounds. She's the best dog ever. She's the reason that I have Zoomies. And she's a handful. She's got seizures and all that.
Oh no!
So she's the best.
Oh no! What's causing the seizures?
They're just idiopathic. It's
Okay.
just idiopathic epilepsy, so there's no real cause for it. They started around the time she was 2.
So does exercising help her out? Is that something that
It helped.
mitigates it?
Since I've started doing Zoomies, I haven't noticed her having nearly as many seizures. There's no link that you can compare to, but
Got it.
I've noticed that she hasn't had nearly as many.
All right. Well, I love the name of your business because I understand what the Zoomies are. I have Pyrenees. They don't zoom anywhere. They're not zooming anywhere around. They're taking their own time to get where they're going. But I know smaller dogs and hyperactive dogs. I know about Zoomies. So tell us about your company. How did you get the idea and how did you get started?
So I got the idea because of her. I live in East Memphis in an area that's not the safest. So I was like, well, I need to be able to walk my dog safely. I need her to get exercise because for 90% of dogs, going out into the backyard is not enough.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, what can I do? Started looking into different options. And I was like, oh, well, I can get a slat mill for myself. And then the idea came and I was like, oh, okay, well, there's other people in the Memphis area that would also benefit from this. So why don't I try to make it a thing and share with everybody else in the Memphis area how well it works with my dog.
Well, when did you start this business?
Around August of last year is when I kind of opened up.
You know, it's a crazy time of time, I think, in our country's history to be starting a new business because so many are going out of business.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of courage, especially for your age. You're a young looking kid.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's that? That's quite ambitious. So you're so you're almost 2 years now, right? Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Right.
Almost a year.
Yeah, I skipped a year. And how has business been? It's been all right.
It's been going good. I'm slowly building up clientele. I still work as a vet tech, so I have to kind of manage both jobs. Right. But
it's a great way to get clients, though.
Oh yeah.
But I love the concept though because she not only has a mobile gym, but it's a mobile indoor gym, and we're going to get inside of it very, very soon. We're going to shoot Penny. She's going to work out for us. She's going to be doing some acting and some exercising for us this episode. We're actually this is our first 2 because we're going to break this podcast episode up into 2 segments. The interview portion, here's the first part, and then we're going to see it, the indoor gym that Penny has to offer. So I love the fact that it's the indoor gym because there are people out that will come to your house and set up exercise activities in your backyard and help exercise. But we're in Memphis. I think it's been almost 100 degrees a couple of times.
Yep.
And this is just punishing weather for pets. And unfortunately, pets need exercise 12 months out of the year, 365. And so Are you finding that that's some of your clients? That's another. Tell us why your clients use your mobile gym.
Yeah, so a lot of my clients use it, because it's so hot, they can't run their dogs outside like they typically do. But actually, a large percentage of my clients have dogs with behavioral issues or anxiety issues, dogs that don't enjoy the company of other dogs, but they have the energy. So they don't take them to doggy daycare because, they don't want them to get into fights. It's not safe for dogs who don't prefer the company of other dogs.
Right.
So they tend to do really, really well in the slat mills.
And I hate to say it, like you were saying earlier, unfortunately, we've had a rash of kidnappings here in Memphis, and this is a dangerous. Well, I think every city in this country is becoming more increasingly dangerous. So it's a risk to single pet parents, moms, dads, whatever the case is, in some of the areas that they live in, to be actually be able to take their kids out for their fuzzy butts out for exercising. So that's a tremendous risk for them. Yeah,
there's that. And then, like we were saying, with the heat and everything, even just walking them outside, the pavement could be 70 degrees outside and the pavement could be like 100.
Right.
So you're going to burn your dog's paws if you do that.
Right.
And
absolutely.
With how dangerous Memphis is getting, and then just the heat in general, it's very unlikely their dogs are getting enough exercise to begin with.
Right. So tell me about the services that you offer. So you've got the awesome van. You've got a couple of machines in there. We'll take a tour of it in a second. But what are the services that you offer it? I was telling Ginger that it was just a fantastic idea to have it the indoor concept, because not only do you have dogs that have behavioral problems, but you also have elderly dogs and also elderly pet parents and fuzzy butts that are the parents of, and they can't really be active with their kids. So I can find tons of use cases for your mobile gym. So what services do you offer? How much does it cost? Is it something that people can afford, or you have to be rich to be able to afford the service?
Yeah, I feel like it's very affordable. I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to go up on my prices, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep it affordable. So slat mills are basically non-motorized treadmills. They have absolutely no motor. The dog runs it. It's on basically a giant hamster wheel.
Okay.
So the dog gets harnessed in. It's completely safe. The dog can't fall off. They can't do a quick turn and tear something, which is how a lot of dogs tear their ACLs. But the sessions are about 30 minutes because that's what, on average, most dogs typically go. They can be shorter. Some dogs, especially like smushed face breeds, brachycephalic breeds, they take shorter sessions, or we take breaks. I never force the dog to go the entire session. We kind of go at their own dog's pace. We cheer them on with only positive reinforcement, only toys. I don't use treats because I don't want to risk the chance of bloat or something crazy like that happening. I want to keep the dogs as safe as possible. But yeah, it's great for just about every single dog. I mean, I have dogs, like I said, with behavioral issues, a lot of confidence dogs. So a lot of dogs who have terrible confidence issues, and they're just terrified of everything. Every single one that I've gotten on here absolutely loves it. And the owners are like, oh my gosh, this dog's confidence has just shot up.
Right.
So we have dogs like that. I have dogs that are trying to lose weight and say the owner can't get them to go around the neighborhood. And this is air conditioned too, so that way they don't have to worry about the dog getting overheated or anything like that.
Well, Ginger and I, again, who's behind the scenes back there, she's fulfilling her co-production. Here she comes, her co-production roles today. She's finally earning her keep around here. But Ginger and I were talking about it, and I said, for me to develop trust enough with a doggy daycare, I just don't trust. I don't trust anybody with my kids. Really, maybe Mommy G, maybe a couple of other pet parents I've met across the country.
Maybe Mommy G.
Maybe sometimes Mommy G. I trust my kids with her, not always. But trust is a hard thing to establish, and for me. Sometimes it takes, years, but I like your concept. You come to the pet parents' residence, and you're there right there in the driveway, right here in Ginger's, the Morgan Manor driveway here. So, she's right here. She could be either a part of the exercise session, the workout session, or can be in there doing work on Puppy Up Foundation, right? So you kind of know where your kid is all the time. It's not somewhere 5-10 miles away. And I'm one of those really bad anxious dog dads.
Me too. That's why I started this.
Yeah, well, that's why there's so many use cases I can imagine for it. I'm sure you're seeing out there. But okay, so tell us where are you a vet tech at? Give the clinic here that you work for.
I'm at Germantown Parkway Animal Hospital. Right. I work with Dr. Zinkis, Dr. Mays, Dr. Tuttle, all of them. It's an amazing clinic. Dr. Zinkis, as y'all know, does a ton of ortho surgeries. Dr. Mays is an internist, and she's from MVS that she's kind of transferred over to us. And Dr. Tuttle is amazing. She is actually going to be moving with her fiance. So unfortunately we're going to lose her, but
yeah, for those who've been following, I'm not sure. I think I mentioned it on the 4th of July segment about Dr. Angie Z, because she's Indiana Fuzzybutt, my Fuzzybutt number 4. That's his GP, and she's a friend of Ginger Morgan here in Memphis, Tennessee as well. So yeah, we love Dr. Angie. We love her. So
and a sponsor of Puppy Up Memphis.
And she's also, Dr. Angie Zinkus is also a sponsor of Puppy Up Memphis. Thank you for that, Dr. Zinkus. We appreciate that as always. But you're so young. So how long have you been working there, and how long you've probably been a dog lover all your life? You look like you've been just a true believer all your life.
I have. I worked at dog boarding facilities and stuff growing up. I've been working since I was 15.
Yeah.
I'm 26 now.
Yeah.
But I've been working in dog boarding facilities at different vet clinics. I went to Mississippi State. I have a degree in animal and dairy science.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. I was accepted to vet school there. Changed my mind. I didn't want to do any more schooling, so came back to Memphis, helped open another boarding facility, and then once COVID hit, I started working back at the veterinary field. So
but you sounds like you have the entrepreneurial, sole proprietor, own your own operation type of it. Yeah, but that's awesome though. Some people are like that, not everyone. And it seems like you're making it work. It's risky. Most people are afraid of all the risks and all the work. It's a lot of work, as you know. I run a food truck, and so it's a mobile business and sort of a mobile business, but I understand just exactly how much nuts and bolts go into it. So it's a lot of work.
Yep.
I can't help but notice I keep looking at your hair because they say the dogs and their parents look alike. Can we get her Penny up next to you to see the striking similarity? You're both gorgeous redheads. Look at that.
Girl.
Mom and daughter right there, side by side. All right, let's see how long are we into this? We wanted to show everybody. Where does it show how long you've been? I don't even know how long this has been going on. I guess that doesn't matter here. Let's see. I'm trying to think about, do we have is there anything else that you wanted to, where can people, that's what I wanted to ask you. I don't have my typical notes. Usually I have talking points, but there were so many things going into this. I figured we'd just talk and discuss it. But do you know if there are other mobile gym businesses out there?
There are.
Okay.
There's a couple of them spread out through the US.
Okay.
I know that there is one in Australia. But they're just kind of spread out all over.
So there's it's becoming a trend, but you're not a part of a franchise or a national.
This is my own band.
I love the name. I hope you trademark it and you protect it and stuff, Zoomies, because there's some kids. Well, not only even some of the inside kids just shouldn't be doing Zoomies inside, right?
Right.
Ginger has a couple of Tasmanian devil type dogs, and then you can't let them cut up.
Right.
In the house because they just destroy everything. So it's just a great way. Get your kid out, 30 minutes of exercise, back in the house, get some sleep, whatever you think's great. So I think that this is a wonderful idea. I'm chomping at the bit to actually get in there and see how it works. So before we go, because I have to try to remember how to get everything into both segments. So did you give everybody your website, and where are you on social media?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook. My website is zoomiesmobiledoggym.com. My Facebook is also Zoomies Mobile Dog Gym. So is Instagram. And my phone number is 901-633-5523.
All right. Well, there's all the deets right there. Ginger, have I left anything out, or do you think we're just ready to do the demonstration?
Well, I have one question.
Well, come over here and ask. You're right there.
Come on, hot and sweaty. So
It's
with,
very hot out here.
you working at the vet clinic, I know
Mhm.
you probably get a lot of your clients from there, and I know that Dr. Zinkas does a lot of orthopedics.
Mhm.
Do you use this for any type of like therapy for the dogs or treatment after maybe a surgery or anything, or not?
So I don't market rehab. I don't market any kind of rehab, but if your vet wants to use Zoomies as a form of rehab, we can do that. So
Okay.
if your vet talks to you and says, I think this is something that'll work, I think this is a good idea, your dog's not going to be running around crazy, possibly tearing something again, or if you want to work back up to building muscle, stamina, strength, this is a great way to do that. But talk to your vet about if you're wanting to use it as some form of therapy or
Okay.
anything like that.
I actually know somebody whose dog is about to get an ACL repair
Mhm.
surgery, so I will
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess you can. So that's a great use case example. I should ask you for some use cases. But when we finish with that, give us some of your clients and some of the work that you're doing with them.
Yeah.
But that's a great example of it. So do you offer different speeds for the recuperating dogs or dogs that just don't walk as fast?
Where
Yeah.
they're self-propelled, right?
Yeah.
They're
Basic.
self-propelled, but I have a brake on the side. So if I
Okay.
need to slow a dog down and prevent it from running, I can hold the brake.
Okay.
That way
Good.
the dog cannot run on there.
Yeah.
They can pull themselves and try to get themselves running, but basically the brake slows down the mill, slows down the turns so that they can continue walking. They just can't go nearly as fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my Fuzzybutt 5, Grayson. He's about as smart as a potted plant. God bless him. But he would be one of those that just would never be able to regulate his speed. He's not that smart enough, so he'd go flying off the
Yeah.
thing. So I like that you have a handbrake there, and I also like that physical therapy obviously is an important specialization, and you don't offer that yet. But it would be awesome if there was a mobile unit that
Mhm.
could offer PT services, have a little hydro,
Right.
a treadmill in there, so hydrotherapy, have a little acupuncture area. You'd have to have like an 18-wheeler to fit all that in. But
Talk to one of the vets about it.
yeah,
So
well, that's a great
maybe in
idea.
the works in the future, just not right now.
Well, it's a great idea. It is something to think about for the future because my Indiana Fuzzybutt 4,
Mhm.
he's having serious mobility issues in his hind legs. We think it's peripheral neuropathy, but we're not sure yet. 100%. We should know by Tuesday. We should have a better idea. We now take him to the chiropractor,
Mhm.
and we take him to PT, acupuncture, and we're going to start hydrotherapy if the surgery, everything goes okay. And so I'm thinking we got to take him to 4 or 5 different locations.
Right.
But more importantly, chiropractor, there's only 2 people in this entire area, and they only offer it like once a month.
Oh,
And
well, it'd
so
be like the soccer mommy G.
yeah, yeah. So it would be a wonderful idea to have sort of an all-in-one. Whether your fuzzy butt needs exercise or your fuzzy butt needs therapy or
Right.
acupuncture or whatever the case is. Good. Well, I'm excited about this. I think you've got a great business concept, and it seems like you're doing well. Oh, use cases. So, are there any really cool, funny stories? First time dogs that got on the thing, like, good God, what is this? What am I?
I mean, so one of and everybody knows who he is when they follow me on Instagram and Facebook. His name is Staley. He is a giant brown pit bull mix.
Uh-huh.
He has insanely bad anxiety,
Uh-huh.
like terrified of everything. He's been on all the medications. He's been to a trainer, multiple trainers actually, and he has also been to a behaviorist. And ever since starting Zoomies and working on the slat mill, his mom has noticed a huge change. She's like, he's not freaking out when people come to the door. He's not freaking out when people are in the yard, because this dog was terrified
Yeah.
of everything and would scream and howl and just act like he was going to get you, but he was terrified of everything.
Right.
But she said ever since starting Zoomies, she's like, I cannot believe that this is the same
What's his
dog.
name so people can look at him on your Instagram?
Staley.
Staley. How do you spell that?
Staley.
Staley.
Mhm.
Never heard a dog
If
named
you
that
see
before.
2 dogs on my Instagram or Facebook together, Staley's the brown one.
Uh-huh.
He's usually going super, super fast.
Uh-huh.
And his sister takes like leisurely stroll. She's gray and white and
Uh-huh.
everything. So you'll usually
She's
see
the
them.
mellow one out of the
Mhm.
2. Well, I was just going to say pit bulls are a little edgy to begin with. So I think anything to help cut the edge off them,
Yep.
because they are a misunderstood breed, and sometimes their excitement
Mhm.
can be confused with aggression.
Right. And his is just pure
and
anxiety.
anxiety. Yeah.
His is just really, really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple dogs that have used Zoomies to lose some weight. But a lot of them are dogs who need help with confidence.
Yeah.
A lot of dogs
Wow.
who the owners are like, well, we tried this, that, and other, but I guess we haven't introduced him to enough different things.
Yeah.
So say your dog is a 6-month-old puppy, 8-month-old puppy, whatever, going through a fear period. And that's kind of when, they revert, they freak out, they start terrified of everything, like
Right.
even going on walks half the time. This is a great thing to introduce to help them build that confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I control this. I slow myself down.
Wow.
I don't have to worry.
Wow.
So it takes the edge off of that, and it
Neat.
gets them focusing on where their feet go, so that way they're like, okay, I have a job to do.
Right.
This is my job. I have to figure out where to put my feet. And there's not a ton going around all around them. So it's easier to get their brain to focus on one thing and get rid of all that anxiety. That's kind of around.
I guess that's just such another important value add, though, is that you take a dog. I mean, if you truly had a dog for gym or a gym for dogs, I have dyslexia amongst other things and other problems and stuff, so I get things reversed. But if you had imagine a gym for dogs, imagine the chaos that would be, right?
Yep.
Because humans check each other out. Dogs would be like, hey, what are you doing over there? So it's great. It's a great, because you don't have a big vehicle with a bunch of moving
Right.
parts and everything. It's small. You can have just one dog at a time, supremely focused on the task or job at hand. And you're right. So it's much less chaotic environment for them to focus and to also calm them down.
And I don't mix families too, unless the dogs already know each other.
Right.
I don't throw in 2 dogs that have no idea who each other
Got it.
are. So
Right.
I'll go to, say, a single family's house, but they're like, okay, my neighbor's dog is best friends with him. Can we do them at the same time? Sure. Yeah, they already have a background. They already have a history. The owner is comfortable with them. We'll do that. But I am not the type of person that's like, oh, these 2 dogs haven't met. Let's throw them in the same room together and just see what happens. We don't do that.
Do you notice that your clients probably got their dogs as puppies during COVID?
Some of them have.
Yeah.
Some of them have, that's for sure. And
I have
of
to
them
make sure this
learned.
thing is still recording because I'm looking at my laptop here and the sun and the glare and everything. I've got my camera exposure down to 0. So hope this looks okay and sounds okay. We're gonna find out. But we're outdoors. We've never done this before like this. So I apologize if I have to keep looking back. It's not like
You're
I'm
fine.
distracted. I just want to make sure that everything is still working and we're still recording because I hate to lose all this great conversation. Well, Ginger, I think, do we have anything else we want to learn from Peyton right now, or do you think we're ready to go get a
I
demonstration?
think we've covered everything I wanted to
All
cover.
right, how
I think
about you
we covered
guys? You ready for a
everything else.
demonstration? You're gonna have to watch this episode. I know some of our audience listens on Spotify or iHeartRadio every Tuesday, but this is the episode that you're gonna have to go to our YouTube channel at fuzzybutstudios.com and check it out. You got to see the lovely Penny and her mom Peyton and this awesome bus. It's bus, or what do you call this thing?
I just call it a van.
Van. All right, the mobile gym van. Say it again.
The mobile dog gym.
Mobile dog gym that we're sitting in front of. All right, we're gonna do a demonstration with Penny. She's gonna show us how it's done. So I'm gonna stop this recording and we'll pick it up here in a second. Hang on. Talk soon. I can pause it there, knucklehead. I know this is recording, but Ginger's like, I don't know if you can pause it. Yes, you can pause it. Our producer doesn't even know if you can pause Zoom. All right, we're gonna pause this. We'll be right back, everyone. And we're back. We successfully made the transition from the outdoor shot to the indoor shot. So here is Peyton's indoor dog gym, mobile dog gym. We're all set up here with Penny, and so I'm going to hand everything over to her and let her walk us through it. Penny, go right ahead. Penny, Peyton, there are too many P's in this place. So Peyton, go ahead and show us how it's done.
So Penny's a pro, so she's probably gonna take off as soon as she gets up here. Up.
Okay.
Good girl. So she'll hop up here. I'll lift some dogs. I'll get her hooked. Okay, go. Good girl. And so she'll start walking. And then if you want to grab a toy or anything and squeeze it in front of her, it'll make her take off in a real.
All right, I've got some toys over here. Look at this. Well, this isn't squeezed very easily. I've got this toy. Look at her go, look at her go, look at her go. Yeah. This always makes me go faster. That was squeak. Yeah, I feel kind of bad because we turned off the AC in here and he's really working. Yeah, good girl. Well, so you got her locked in here, braced in here.
So even if she slows down, and we're on a hill right now.
Right.
So it's gonna continue rolling, but I've got a brake, I can put my hand on here, get her to stop. But either way, she's harnessed in, and I harnessed all the dogs in, so that way they can't go flying off the back, they can't slide off the side, anything like that.
Okay, so are there any dog breeds that are too big for this contraption? I could see like a giant Newfie. Can a Newfie fit up here? Or
It should. I had
what's the biggest dog you've done so far? The biggest breed?
the biggest breed is in height or weight.
Either one.
So I
This
had
height would be more constraining.
I had a German Shepherd Great Dane mix
Okay.
on here, and he was very, very tall. He's on my Instagram and my Facebook, so y'all can check that out if you want to see
All
the
right.
size.
Oh, I'm trying to sit on this other thing over here.
And I also had like a 150-pound lab mix.
Wow.
That was trying to lose weight, and
Wow.
he was pretty wide, but he fit. So
Miss Squeaky toy. I'm sitting on one of the treadmills over here. It's not very comfortable. Here you go. You won that. You deserve that. There you go, sweetheart. What did you tell her to do?
I told her to get it.
Get it? Yeah, I'll get it. Get it. Pen.
Yeah.
Good girl. Yeah, you get the prize at the end. You did good, girly girl. Some type of emergency ambulatory service going on here in the Midtown area of Memphis. Give us 1 second. I think it's always exciting here in Memphis. Yeah, you are so
Always
great.
exciting when the fire department goes by,
Yeah.
and I'm not
All
cooking.
right. Well, this is why I was thinking, I was thinking in terms of height, like an Irish wolfhound. Those are pretty tall.
I mean, Great
These are
Danes,
Great
this is the
Danes.
largest
Yeah.
flat mill that Dog Trotter offers.
So does this light up then, or is
It
this the
does
back?
not.
Okay.
But most dogs, because this is going to connect to their back, and
Right,
not their
right.
neck.
Right.
So most dogs
That's
are
right.
not taller than this. And
That's
I mean, if I get a dog that's too tall, I'll let the owners know.
Uh-huh.
But okay, you going?
So you can, here you go. Give me the toy though. You don't need that while you're exercising. It's a unicorn or it's a horse or something. Giraffe. I think this is a giraffe. Oh, it's a giraffe unicorn. Oh, I'm getting excited. I mean, work hard.
She will just take off and
She
go.
loves it. You can tell, you can clearly, I'm not sure if you're able to get this over on the YouTube channel on your end, but you can tell she loves it.
Slow down.
She's having, she's
Slow.
going nuts.
Slow.
She's having a great
Thank
time. It's wonderful. It's, it's tight and everything, but there's enough room to be able to comfortably exercise. And you said that you can get, let me move out of the way here. I want to show everyone the other setup on this side. So you have two of these, what'd you
Yes.
call them? Tables? What kind of tables?
Slat mills.
Slap or slat?
Slat mills.
With a P or a T? Slat.
T.
Okay, slat like bed slat.
Yes.
Slat mill. Treadmill. You got two of them here. So you can actually run two kids together.
Yes.
And like you were saying, they have to be a part of the same family because
Or
you
friends.
are friends. Yeah.
Similar. They have to know each other and be comfortable and not react.
See, I can see Smiley and Kelly.
Totally,
what is
yeah.
the difference between like a slat mill and a regular treadmill?
So a slat mill has absolutely no motor.
Okay.
Where treadmills have motors, treadmills you set the speed. With a slat mill, the dog sets the speed.
So
And
this seems like,
this is different because the treadmill would be solid and this is actually put together. I don't know if you can tell.
you can see the slats.
You can see the slats
Mhm.
moving as an actual
But
slat.
but yes, that's correct. Mechanically, they're different. But to me, it seems for dogs, this would be safer because
It's 100%
yeah,
safer.
yeah, because you don't want to dictate the speed at which a dog is.
Exactly.
It's like I'm telling you, you must go 5 miles an hour or 20
Right.
miles an hour.
And what
that's-
happens when your dog wants to slow down? They're
Right.
either going to get thrown off a
Right,
treadmill. And I've
right.
seen a lot of people use treadmills with their dogs.
Yeah,
And, what are they going to do? They
It-
hook their leash to it. And what happens when the dog wants to stop? It chokes them.
right.
This way, the dog stops on their own. It does not choke them. They can't go flying off. They can't get stuck, anything like that.
Right.
So,
Wow, this is I love it. I love it, and I see the potential. I'm excited that you've got clients, that you're doing well. So what's the next step in terms of expansion plans? Are you just gonna keep this for a while?
keep this, build it for a while
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, or maybe launch like a second van if you're
Right.
like a second van, maybe in Nashville or something. Oh, this is a
Yeah.
very franchisable business. I'm gonna
Right.
tell you, I've seen some franchisable concepts before, but I can totally, because to me, This is a very self-contained unit. The operating overhead and the fixed costs don't look like they're crazy high. It's actually this is a cargo van, right? So
cargo van.
yeah, so it's not a special vehicle. You don't need a special driver's license or anything.
No.
Yeah.
You have to figure out the AC, which is
Right.
hard. I had to go all the way to Little Rock to get that put in because nobody in Memphis apparently puts in rooftop AC units and vans or anything.
Wow.
So.
Well, keeping it nice and cool here is important.
And you can tell the difference without it turned on too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's just darker in here and it doesn't have windows, which keeps the sunlight out,
Right.
which contains some of the or keeps out some of the heat, the ambient heat.
Mhm.
Wow, this is wonderful. All right, I think that's it. Let me sit down here next to Penny. I hope I don't make her push her off the machine. That would be horrible if I ended up either I get injured by this or I injured. Come here, sweetheart. All right. All right. So give everybody your website once again and your social media once again.
So my Facebook and Instagram are Zoomies Mobile Dog Gym. My website is zoomiesmobiledoggym.com. And then my phone number is 901-633-5523.
All right.
Can you say that again a little slower?
Oh, sorry. Which part? All of it?
All of it.
Okay. Instagram and Facebook are Zoomies Mobile Dog Gym, and it's ZOOMIES. And my website is zoomiesmobiledoggym.com. Also ZOOMIES. And then my phone number is 901-633-5523.
Yeah, and I think Ginger, you wanted to pop in here and give a cancer tip of the week. I'll preface it real quick because we were talking about exercise. Peyton, I'm sure that you know we're also a vet tech, so I'm sure you know that obesity is a real problem in our companion animals. And as Ginger and I know that we had Dr. Jaime Modiano on, and he emphasized that he felt like diet and nutrition are important, but what's more important is not having an overweight dog. So on that note, Ginger, take it over.
Well, I think, Luke, that you just did.
Okay, well, that's
That was not a cancer tip of the
I set
week.
you up. I was just
Yes.
sorry.
It is not to have an overweight dog. Not only does it make them susceptible to cancers, but obviously it makes them susceptible to all kinds of orthopedic issues as well. So Zoomies Mobile Dog Gym is great. If you are in the Memphis area and you have an overweight dog, give them a call.
Yeah, and I'll also add my own little, as some of you know, my own little personal testimony to this, and that is some of you know that I'm having problems with Indiana's mobility in the hind legs, and I just feel like you always got to make sure that you're exercising, that you're keeping the musculature up, especially the older dogs. So do you deal with older dogs? What's the oldest?
I do.
What's the oldest? Do you know the oldest that you have? She's such a sweetheart.
They don't typically, keep track of
Right,
ages and
right.
everything. I do have some people reaching out to me about their older dogs with arthritis and stuff. I always tell them, check with your vet, make sure that your vet is okay with them doing this kind of exercise. Usually if they have arthritis, they need to be on some form of pain control.
Right.
Some sort of joint supplement. But Zoomies can be great for dogs with arthritis and mobility issues and stuff. One, because it's stable.
Yeah.
They're harnessed in, so even if your dog falls, they can't land on themselves,
Right.
which is a big thing. Because
Right,
a lot of
that's
dogs
huge.
with arthritis, what happens when they fall? Their legs splay out. This way, their legs aren't going to do that. And
Yeah.
it's got really good traction on here on the slats, so that even if they have trouble getting around in the house and stuff, it's usually because of their nails and the floor. They don't do good on hardwood. This way they have some traction that they can still grab onto and pull and move themselves. I do have one dog, a German Shepherd, that has elbow arthritis, and he is doing great on the slat mill.
Yeah.
He does kind of shimmy when he walks a little bit because of his elbow, but his owner, is like, this is great. My dog loves to walk, but the Memphis heat is so bad.
Right.
And this way, my dog
Right.
doesn't have to worry about falling or tripping
it
and
just
not
gets
being able
me
to
out.
catch themselves.
Yeah, so if you have to prevent any old age issues and also minimize the risk of cancer for a whole host of reasons, also to protect yourself if you're a single pet parent and it's unsafe out there on the roads and the streets for you to walk your fuzzy butt, boy, please try to find a service like Peyton's Zoomie business here, or the mobile dog gym. I think it's a wonderful concept. What you're doing for Fuzzybutts is great. You're setting, I think you're setting an important trend that I believe will take off like fire across the country. And so
I think that you seem like you have that entrepreneurial spirit. I bet you're going to franchise this. So we're definitely going to have you back on Fuzzybutts and Friends to talk about your expanding business one day. All right, Benny's ready to go. I think it's getting hot. We're going to turn off the AC. It's crazy hot. I'm sweating. I know she's sweating. Everybody's sweating. So on that note, we're going to wrap this episode up. Hope you had a lot of fun watching us, listening to this, and learning about the mobile dog gym that Peyton Pugh has built here in Memphis, Tennessee. All right, everyone. Till next week. Puppy up. Talk soon.